Channel subscribers, salute. Channel members, my gold unit, double salute. And for my Green Bay Packer fans out there, how about them Packers? It took the final game of the season, the final snaps. It was only a one-possession game when it was all said and done. But the Packers have made the playoffs. Playoffs! We did it. We'll be headed to Dallas next Sunday afternoon, 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time. Packers versus Cowboys, wild card, round one of the playoffs. If you saw yesterday's review that I put out late last night, you know my thoughts on yesterday's defeat over the Chicago Bears and the upcoming game against Dallas. I put all those thoughts, tied it up with some nice ribbon, and put a bow on that in yesterday's review. But that's Sunday. Right now we have a big discussion that needs to be discussed in the pro wrestling world. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, Roman Reigns, and Cody Rhodes. It's a dilemma that WWE has. If you ask me, it's a good dilemma, right? Couple of big matches, just about where do we place them. So the big discussion in the wrestling world, I can't even believe it is a discussion. I can't believe this needs to be talked about, but this is what we do. We have a sector of fans that believe they know what's best for business, and they're usually flat out wrong. These are the fans that claim Daniel Bryan needed to be in the main event WrestleMania match with Edge and Roman Reigns. We need to dilute the waters a little bit, right? Muddy those waters. Add a third man in. Didn't make any sense. Daniel Bryan had no business being in there. He was just playing the woe is me card. And he got in. Enough fans were like, put him in there. It'll be a triple threat. It'll be a Meisling. No, it won't be. It's Edge and Roman. That's a Mania match. Let him rock. But Daniel Bryan got at it. It was weird. It was strange. It didn't fit. And the match was subpar. And I always say this on the channel. Much props, respect, and a salute to Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson, because to this day, he admits he doesn't know why he was in that match. It didn't feel right, and it probably shouldn't have happened. He admitted that in so many interviews, and that is so cool. Because if you really know how to dissect and critique pro wrestling, watch it with a vivid eye to know not just what you're viewing for the moment, but what is it all leading to? Does it make sense? Is there logic? Can you really fully believe in what you're tuned into? All of this matters, right? Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan, says, I have no idea why I was in that match. I'll tell you why. Enough people cried and said you needed to be in it when there was no reason for it. And then several months later, I forgot which pay-per-view event it was, but Edge and Roman had their one-on-one match, and they nailed it. And it would have been even grander on the grander stage. The grandest of them all. But no, we'll make it a triple threat. More, right? But sometimes it's quality over quantity. In fact, in pro wrestling, many times. But it's the same fans that said Cody should not be winning the championship at WrestleMania 39. No, we feel like he needs more struggle and adversity. And it's the same fans, if you notice, that said Daniel Bryan needs to be in the Edge Roman match. They didn't want to take the L on that one, so now they're going to double down. Well, Cody cannot walk out of 39 with that title. No, Roman has to hold on to the title. Roman holding the title for another year makes sense. Let Cody go through struggle and adversity, and basically, we'll revisit this at 40. How's that, basically? No, absolutely unacceptable. And I said, Cody or bust at 39. Why? Because I was reading the room. It was time. I've been the biggest supporter of Roman Reigns' heel turn, biggest supporter of Roman Reigns' championship reign, even when he was winning the same ways with Solo helping him, and a lot of fans were getting pissed off, and the sporadic appearances becoming more and more fewer and far in between. But I was a fan of it all. Makes it more special. I get it. 39, you got to read the room. It was time to take the title off. We already knew he was going on vacay for basically the rest of the year, and he did. He had about 11 matches the rest of the year. Only had a handful of title defenses, if even. None of them needed to be for the title, by the way. When he came back, he had a couple of tag team matches on pay-per-view, and then a SummerSlam match against Jey Uso, which was more about the tribal lay than the championship. So there was no reason for Roman to have that title throughout all of 2023. None. Cody, on the other hand, was traveling all over the world with WWE. He was in a feud with Brock Lesnar, supposedly. Never had a story, you know why? Because the audible was called, and Roman did take the title. At 39. Keep the title. So when Brock turned on Cody the next night on Raw, it didn't make sense. The whole story was Brock cannot go after Roman because that was the stipulation when Roman last beat him. So now that Cody has the title, Brock immediately pounced like a shark in the water. But Cody never got the title, and Brock still pounced. So for 3 months, we watched this feud that Michael Cole said 4 times. We still don't know why Brock attacked Cody. And when it was all said and done, we never found out. Because they didn't have a reason, and they never cared to think of one. And it was all said and done. Brock and Cody hugged in the middle of the ring at SummerSlam. I believe it was. I think it was SummerSlam. Hugged it out. Basically, it was Brock, man. He went off the script, man. What he did was he went into business for himself. He's showing respect to Cody. It was a cool moment. Maybe, yeah. Doesn't make sense, though. Cody Rhodes got his arm broke like 3 times within 3 months to Brock. And then Cody's so quick to just hug him. Oh, man. My arm's going to be sore for the rest of life, but let's hug. So they never had a story. They never had a reason. They never had a purpose. And then they just hugged it out. Awesome. Struggle in adversity. Good thing Cody didn't win the title at 39. And then for the rest of the year, Cody took on the Judgment Day over 60 times. Over 60 of Cody's 92 victories in 2023 was over the Judgment Day. Sound a little redundant? 60 plus victories out of 90. Some odd. It's a good thing Cody didn't win the title at 39. It's a good thing we saw struggle in adversity. It's a good thing Roman kept it at 39 so he could go on vacation for the rest of the year, basically, and snuggle up with the title. All for what? In a few months to do it all again. The same exact match we saw at 39, and this time, Cody wins the title. The same thing we could have saw at 39. We had to wait another year because there was a sector of fans that cried out struggle and adversity. And because Levesque McMahon scatters through his little chit-chat machine, he's like, that's a good idea. If we keep it on Roman, we'll think of something down the line. No, that's not what you had planned. Everything was set up beautifully for Cody to win the title and Roman to go away. Roman's going to come back every now and again, and he would have big matches, right? The whole rest of 2023 was the Bloodline storyline, guys, imploding. That was it. Jimmy and Jay versus Roman. Solo and Roman in a tag team match with who? Cena, LA Knight, whatever it was. I don't know. There was tag team matches at the pay-per-view. That was all that was. Nothing Roman has done the entire year post-Mania calls for him to have a title. It's clear as day. Cody Rhodes had to win that championship at 39 because everything afterwards made no sense. And to his credit, Paul Levesque McMahon immediately knew he had screwed up. At the media scrum after Mania, and I quote, "Sometimes you get it right, sometimes you get it wrong." He knew. While Roman Reigns was hoisting that championship up, while simultaneously Cody Rhodes laid next to a rubber chicken. And the air was sucked out of that stadium. Every single fan leaving dejected. And not the fun, we didn't get our way dejected. Like, what just happened? Like, that was not the experience we were hoping for. It wasn't a fun way to end that event. Oh, the heel got it. Man, I thought Cody was going to win. Damn, this isn't over. I can't wait to see part 2. No, you go back and you watch fans exiting that stadium. It was sad to see. You never end, especially a WrestleMania like that. You gotta read the room. He knew instantly. Instead of hoisting up that championship, the iconic photo was Cody Rhodes next to a rubber chicken. And this is a huge Cody supporter when I say this. There's some fans that go, will Cody have been as popular as he still is today if he had won the title? They would have turned their backs on him, BC. That's going to happen no matter what when the fans deem such. Trust me. You can't worry about that in advance. You just got to worry about proper booking. First and foremost, you read the room and you do what's right. If you know that Roman Reigns is not going to be around basically all of 2023, you're taking the title off of him. Because everything you have going forward calls for Cody to have the title, right? The Brock Lesnar thing showed us that. There was no reason for a last-second audible by Levesque McMahon, but that's what happened. But you look at who Cody Rhodes is geared to, and this is coming from a supporter of Cody, big time. But he's geared toward the families. The poster child with the smile, the red, white, and blue. The American hero. A little bit of Hulk Hogan, a little bit of John Cena. He's patting the babies on the head. He's doing the Make-A-Wishes. He's up on the promotional work. He's positioned to be that baby face. So yeah, he would have still been over. And they love singing. Oh! If you get a catchy sing-along, you'll go from zero to hero. Seth Rollins, middling around with the U.S. Championship. Austin Theory and Bob Lashley most of last year. He gets this little sing-along like his wife Becky Lynch. And all of a sudden, he's a top face again. A sing-along did that. Oh, of course he was going to still be cheered. The difference is you probably get better booking than 3 months of no actual story with Brock and over 60 matches against the Judgment Day. Or at least maybe they would have felt more special. But one thing's for sure, Roman would still be at home, just without a championship. Which is not needed. Doesn't even make sense. Back in the day, President Jack Tunney would take the title away if you haven't defended it in 30 days. Okay, 60 day, 90 day. This guy goes 4 months at a time. It's no longer believable even. So now we go to, that's setting up the conversation. But believe it or not, that's just setting up where we are now, right? Because now we have a dilemma where everybody is on this ship, or has been before The Rock came back, on this ship of Cody has to finish his story now. As if what, I would ask. Is that supposed to give us the same feeling of 39, or is it supposed to be more of an epic feeling? Is that what you're selling BC and so many fans on? Is this supposed to be a more special feeling? Because I'm not sure why we waited a year to do exactly what you're telling me he needs to do now. Because you claim struggle in adversity. What's the struggle in adversity? Brock breaking his arm 3 times and then they hug it out? There was never a story to that feud, so that fell to the wayside. And then 60 plus matches with Judgment Day. That's not struggle in adversity. Where is the struggle in adversity? What made us go, damn, it's a good thing we waited an entire year. Now it's better. What makes fans like BC think that? We don't. Nothing happened, and this is what I told you guys was the problem. You're all thinking, oh, this is going to be an amazing year for Cody now that he didn't win the title. And I told you from the jump this was going to be horrific because Roman's going away. And Cody's going to stick around in irrelevancy. I called it. I was right from the jump. And now we find ourselves in a position where in a few months, everybody is deeming Cody versus Roman has to happen because Cody has to finish his story. Where were you a year ago? Now you saw enough struggle in adversity? What does that even mean? 30 plus years watching pro wrestling. Until last year, I never heard struggle in adversity has to happen for a guy to get a title. Otherwise, he cannot get it. Roman has to go on vacation for another year with it. Keep it on Roman. Cody cannot get it now. It's not the time. It's struggle and adversity he needs. When the guy left because he wasn't getting what he thought he was deserved or that he earned, and he had to go away and create his own company, become the executive in that company, and then leave because of unfinished business. And he goes into the WWE's Hell in a Cell match, half purple and half blue. That's not struggle in adversity? Defeating 29 other guys and winning the Rumble, going into Hell in a Cell with half your body purple and blue? No, basically, we gotta watch him take out the Judgment Day 70 times. I'm gonna need 3 or 4 months with Brock Lesnar, basically, and then, basically, I am good with the championship changing hands, basically. But I would like to see it on Roman for another year. Build it up a little more, basically. It's not built up. In fact, you want to know the truth? This whole storyline, you guys think this has been a masterful storyline. It's long-term storytelling, basically. You know what's happened ever since WrestleMania, guys? They haven't crossed paths. They have not crossed paths. We're just a few months away from WrestleMania, by the way. They still are not even talking about one another. The focus is on The Rock and Roman because it's a bigger match. Let's cut the BS, whether you like it or not. Whether you're one of the fans that cries, part-timer, we don't need The Rock. Tough shit. He's the bigger match. That is a literal dream match for many of us. It's The Rock versus Roman. Cousin versus cousin, they both feel they are the provider of the family. One of them actually is. The other one is delusional and paranoid and believes he actually is. Until the real tribal chief of that family, the real head of the table, says enough and comes back for that throne. It's storytelling 101. The ultimate good guy versus the ultimate bad guy in the ultimate storyline that has stood the test of time. And it doesn't even need the title, by the way, but it still has to be on the grandest stage. It's Rock versus Roman. I feel like it's a delusional world sometimes. I feel like fans don't even think before they speak. He's got to finish his story, basically. No, he had to finish the story last year is what had to happen. Now, for so many of it, doesn't even make sense. We just want the story, any story, just end it. Stop. Start a new chapter, start a new book, or just stop writing. The story has become a meme. People are making fun of the story now. CM Punk is like, forget finishing a story. I'm just here. I'm just beginning. Cody Rhodes doesn't even want to talk about the damn story anymore. WWE is going to make him do such in future promos, but he hasn't talked about the story in the longest time. He's even sick of hearing about finishing this damn story. To the point where now we are willing to take the lesser match on the grandest stage, a match we already saw last year, just to see the different outcome now. We're willing to see the lesser match so we can all say when it's all said and done, he finished his story. Wow, thank goodness. And when WrestleMania goes off the air, you want me to feel what? What am I supposed to say? WrestleMania just ended. How was it? Oh, Cody finished his story. Is that the story he was going to finish last year? Yeah. But he did it this year, man. So it's a good thing we wasted a year. But man, it feels so much more special because we waited. No. This year has dragged on for Cody and Roman. It dragged on. It was not done properly, and it never was going to be. I tried to tell you this. And now we have a bigger match that should be on the grandest stage, but there are fans, probably the same ones, saying that Daniel Bryan needs to be added to Edge and Roman, saying that Cody cannot win the title last year because he needs struggle and adversity. The title has to stay on Roman. Those same fans are probably the ones that are going, Cody, or Rock and Roman, I should say. Rock and Roman needs to be at Elimination Chamber, not WrestleMania. What? What? One of the biggest matches in wrestling history. And you're saying it needs to be at a B pay-per-view because it's in a stadium in Australia and their government would really like a big match. You want the US fans, straight up, to wake up at 3, 5, 6, 7 a.m.? Perth, Australia is about 13 hours in front of New York, right? I've been hearing 12, but I'm also hearing 13 hours. And they're supposed to start around 5:30, 6 o'clock their time. So let's just say it's between 12 to 13 hours ahead of Eastern Standard Time. New York City, Florida, Maine, East Coast. That would be 5 a.m. Correct? If they're going to start at 5:30, 6 p.m. Australia time, that means Eastern time would be about 5 a.m. West Coast and Pacific, they're going to be 2 a.m., right? Is Hawaii even more? Maybe Hawaii would be, maybe it would be better for Hawaii. The point is, that's the thing. Nobody even knows the time scale. We don't even know when this thing is going on live. That's a problem. One of the biggest matches in the world, nobody knows when it's going live. And for most of us, we're going to be sleepy time. Coming off of a Friday night where everybody's ending the work week and exhausted, and then they got to take care of everything. And then they probably have a whole weekend of activities that their wives or their significant others are throwing at them. And they're supposed to wake up at 2, 3, 4 a.m. to watch Rock and Roman. Most of them are going to set alarms or try to, and they're going to sleep right through them. And you know what these fans are saying? There's on-demand, basically. There's on-demand and replays, dude. Dude. Rock doesn't need to be at Mania, man. Part-timers, stinking part-timers. There's on-demand, basically. On-demand. On-demand and replays. We're going to watch this like it's an old episode of The Sopranos on HBO. I know there's on-demand. I know there's replays. And I know there's nobody that needs to see or wants to see Rock and Roman on a replay on demand. You watch wrestling live. That's what makes Raw and SmackDown live every week. There's a reason it's live every week. Because the studies have been done and conducted. Pro wrestling fans, pro wrestling needs to be live to be as exciting, as captivating as it possibly can be and should be. And you're putting one of the biggest... And by the way, this could happen. They could absolutely put this at the Chamber because enough fans are actually crying about it. Just like they did with Daniel Bryan. Just like they did when Cody was going to win the title last year. And they cried, no, now's not the time. Leave it on Roman. There's enough people crying that they could say, you know what? Rock could say, you know what? I'm not trying to piss off on my legacy here. Piss on it. I'm not trying to piss off fans. Let's just do this in Australia then. Whatever. I'll give up the Mania spot. There's enough people crying about it. And you are asking so many people to get up so damn early to watch one of the biggest matches in the world on a B-level paper when WrestleMania is a month later, month and a half, whatever it is, weeks later. And The Rock just has this merger. The Double Football League, the XFL, the USFL, they merge together. And their season starts in the spring. Perfect timing for WrestleMania, early April. Perfect timing to promote that. So you know this was supposed to be Mania from the jump, but there's people that honestly are going, no, Cody needs to finish a story, man. Rock doesn't need to be at Mania. Yes, he does. You know why? Because it's the bigger match. Think before you speak. Smarten up. Think about what you are saying. It's The Rock versus Roman. I'm guessing it's younger fans that don't really appreciate The Rock as much. I get it. You know, part-timer, this isn't needed. Give Cody the title. Where you should have been speaking up loudly last year because now your voice is not heard. Nobody cares. We don't. We know what the bigger match is. We know what the dream match is. And a dream match should not be on a B-level event at 3 a.m. Shouldn't be. This is common sense. This is logic. Just so Cody, who I'm a big supporter of, again, can finish a story that is a year too late. Sorry, not sorry if that hits deep. But it's the truth, and somebody's got to tell you it. It's a year too late. It will not have the same impact. You'll get cheers and a big ovation and fireworks. You'll get it because Roman's finally lost the title, which, by the way, don't be so sure. Don't be so sure. They're supposed to be doing some big hoopla for Hulk Hogan's big 30-year anniversary. 40 years. What is it? 1984, correct? It's like 40-year anniversary, something like that. Big celebration of his first title win. Hulk Hogan is ahead of Roman. We already heard reports. I told you this. I've been telling you this for a while. That they're thinking of having Roman hold that title through SummerSlam so he can overtake Hogan's record. So don't even be so sure he'd finish this story that's a year too late anyway. Just something, a little food for thought. It's just delusional. I don't even... part of me thinks these are just like fans of another promotion that just are trying to like just say or do anything to try to have WWE like ruin something special, you know? Oh, Edge and Roman is a big match. Let's throw in Daniel Bryan, will ya? I don't want that one-on-one. That's a good marquee match. Cody winning the title, that is a massive moment and a huge headline. Coming right out of AEW. Let's not do that. Now's not the time. Don't put the title on him. Leave it on Roman. Yeah, that's going to be best for business. And now, Rock and Roman, huge match. Yeah, put it at Australia. Put it at Elimination Chamber before Mania. What's that? 4 or 5 a.m.? There's on demand. It's fine. Put it on the Elimination Chamber. Everybody will watch it over the weekend at some point. It's like these are fans of another promotion that are just trying to like they decimate WWE somehow by acting like they're fans, and they're like, yeah, it'd be better if we do this. Yeah. And Cody finishes his story and all is right in the world. The Rock versus Roman Reigns. I can't even believe this is a debate. Should be at WrestleMania. That's obvious. It is The Rock versus Roman Reigns. One of the biggest storylines sitting in their lap. And you want to rush this for 4 weeks from now, ish, whatever it is, next month. You want to rush this into next month while everybody's sleeping. Thank goodness that those people crying it has to be at Elimination Chamber. Thank goodness they're not actually booking pro wrestling. But because that is a debate, it could be at Elimination Chamber. It could be. Nobody knows at this point. And the fact that that's the case is one of the biggest issues in pro wrestling. We're making decisions that don't even make sense. And there's enough influencers and podcasters to repeat this regurgitated BS. And the simpletons that follow go, yeah, good idea. Elimination Chamber is the best call. Probably the same people that thought Cody needed struggle and adversity. And we all know how that ended up. Anyway, that's what BC has for you. If anybody was wondering BC's thoughts on this hot debate. Mania or Elimination Chamber, BC. It's common sense. It's logic. This shouldn't even be a hot take. Putting Rock and Roman on a B-level event at 5 in the morning, 3 a.m. for others, maybe even earlier, in front of 50,000 fans, when you could do it in front of 60, 70, 80,000 fans. Point is, more fans than Australia can provide in that stadium. You can do it in front of more fans live. You can do it in prime time for most of us. And you can do it on the grandest stage. And you don't even need the title on the line. Cody. You know what? Have Cody finish his damn story at Elimination Chamber then. Why does that have to be at Mania? But Rock and Roman, we don't get that. Why is it always this little sector of fans get what they always want, and everything that they always want ends up turning really fucking shitty? Let's flip it around. Cody can finish his story at Elimination Chamber at 5 in the morning. How do you like them apples? And we can get something that finally makes sense. Rock Roman Mania. Book it, H. Book it, Vince. Book it, Ari from Endeavor. Somebody book it for Mania. It could go either way at this point. But my thoughts on it, I can't even believe that this is being contemplated. Who knows if it's even being contemplated? We know their government wants a big match. And people are thinking, oh man, Rock can't be the one to destroy Cody's dreams. You know, somebody brought it up in the live stream recently. And it's so true. Like Shawn Michaels, I couldn't imagine him not winning that title at WrestleMania 12. Vince McMahon, Vincent Kennedy knew that Mania had to end with Shawn Michaels hoisting up the title. The boyhood dream. That was the storyline. And it's Mania. And then you set something up massive for the next year. You don't just run it back. You don't hold off on what should have been done because if you read the room, you knew it needed to be done. If that didn't happen at 12, we would have never gotten Bret Hart versus Stone Cold at 13. The whole double turn, all of that was just brilliant, and it set up just so much epicness going forward. We never would have had that. Couldn't imagine some of these calls being made back in the day, but they are now. And fans hope that it works out. And guess what? When it's all said and done, you see that it didn't. So let's not keep making the same mistakes, man. 2 wrongs don't make a right. Correct it now. Rock Roman, let's rock. No pun intended. WrestleMania. Oh, WrestleMania. Remember that? They used to have CDs, and that was a WrestleMania's. We're going back a little bit. Anyway, it's time for an actual dream match to be at WrestleMania. I'm done. In the wrestling community, everything is a dream match, right? You take a 5'7" dude, you put him in there with a 5'5" dude, and they can do flips and dives, and we all go, this is awesome. And then afterwards we go, did you see the dream match? Ali just put out there, soon I'm going to be in a lot of dream matches that I haven't been able to do, right? Something like that, paraphrasing. Ali is teasing a bunch of dream matches now that he's out of WWE. How is that dream match? It's Ali! That's not even Shay, bro. Dream? We're throwing that term around a little bit. Ali. Man, if people have Ali in their set of dream matches, they have a distorted view on what pro wrestling actually is. Larger-than-life characters, storylines that captivate us, and the ultra form of entertainment you can't find anywhere else. If you can get that in just flips and dives, more power to ya. Name's BC until next time, and there will be that next time. Top guys, we're out. BC saying check you. Go long. We're going to do a Hail Mary pass. Salute. Go long. Oh, by the way, Angel Alega on the Packers upload yesterday. I got the coffees. I appreciate that. Super thanks down below. Angel Alega. Apparently, I might have missed a super thanks in a previous upload. I will check that out. I believe I did get it, though. Hopefully, you're listening to the uploads second one to the final second, because I always do the shout-outs either at the top or the end or sometimes in the middle. But Angel Alega, I believe I got that last super thanks. But I'll double check either way. But I definitely got the one from last night's Green Bay Packer review in the super thanks. Appreciate the coffees. More importantly, I appreciate the gold card status. Angel Alega, longtime subscriber, big time channel member. Angel! And whoever can catch this Hail Mary, deep ball, let's go!